fine at home. And as you know that last video I have sent you the introduction of light. Right? We have started this new chapter, light. And the introduction of that light already I have given you. Now today we are going to discuss about the new subtopic, right? Our topic is what here? Light. We are studying light. The subtopic is that what? Laws of reflection of light is very important part. Is the beginning of this chapter. If you understand the laws of reflection of light, the other points you can understand very easily. Okay. So just you can pause the video and you can write down these 2 points because this is very important. The first point is the angle of incidence. The angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. Listen one more time. The angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. Second point, the incident ray, the normal to the mirror at the point of incidence and the reflected ray all lie in the same plane. Now whatever I have told you just now from the board, in that all matter there are only 3 things. There are only 3 things. One is incident ray, right? Incident ray, and the second one is what? Reflected ray. Reflected ray, and the third one is the normal. Only 3 points you have to keep in your mind. I will explain you with the help of example. Now you can think that this is just a plane, right? And as we have mentioned that normal, right? So suppose this is the normal, this line, and from here we will get the light. Here we will get the light. So this is called incident ray, right? This is called incident ray. Suppose the light is falling on this surface. Now after that, whatever the light will reflect to other side, this part is called the reflection. So this is called angle of incidence. Angle of incidence, and other part when it is light is reflected, that is called angle of reflected. And this part is called the normal. What? That is represented by n. Again, see one more time. So this is the plane, right? This is the plane, and this is the normal to the ray. This line is called the normal to the ray. And from here, light is falling on the plane, right? So this is called angle of incidence. Angle of incidence. After that, there will be the reflection. After that, there will be a reflection. That is called angle of reflection. And it is normal. So what it is said that the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. Means angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflected. Right? So we can say that angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflected. That is the first law. And what is the second law here? The incident ray, the normal. Incident ray means this first part. This one. And the second thing, the normal to the mirror. Who is the normal to the mirror? This line. This is the second. And the third one is the reflected ray. Reflected ray means this part. This is the reflected ray. This is third one. This all 3 they are lying in the same plane. They are lying in the same plane. This is called second law. This is called second law. See one more time. The first law says the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. How? Because here the angle of incidence and angle of reflection both are equal. Now we can consider one more twisting point is that in that. Suppose this is another plane here, and this is the normal. This is the normal. Suppose light is falling at right angle. This is the light, right? Falling to the normal. Then what will be the angle? What will be the angle of incident ray? What will be the angle of incident? You just listen one more time. Whenever the light is falling on the plane in 90 degree, means straight to the normal, that time what will be the angle? And what will be the angle of reflection? So in this case what happens that because we are considering the angle of incidence means the space between the angle of incidence and normal, this is called angle, right? But when this line is right angle here, it means the angle is 0. Angle is 0. Therefore, in this case, angle of incidence is equal to 0. And as we know from the first law, if the angle of incidence is 0, then the angle of reflection will be also 0. Why? From the first law, because both the angles are equal. So in that case, when light is falling to the normal, means in the same line in 90-degree position, the angle of incidence is equal to 0 and angle of reflection is also equal to 0. I hope you all have understood here. Still, if you have any doubt, you can send me a